Welcome guys, it's MJ here with MJ's Luxury Living. I hope you're doing wonderful. I told you, we're going to do RPAs, Residential Purchase Agreements. This is my first video, so I'm just hoping that this is all wonderful, valuable information to you. If I'm happening to miss anything or you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment in the comment section, and I promise I'll get back to you as soon as possible. All right, so let's do it. We're gonna go line through line. We're gonna assume you kind of know how to do line 1 through 7, but we're still gonna go through it briefly. Contract date, that's gonna be the date you submit the offer. That's gonna be really important for expiration dates. We're gonna fill out on line 2 the buyer's name, or if it's an LLC or a company, whoever is gonna be making this residential purchase agreement, we're going to put their government or legal name in this box here, followed by the physical legal address. So you'll make sure you have that correct. Last thing you want to do is have a wrong digit and throw a lot of stuff off, push transaction back. So we'll just always double check that. Once you have that inputted, we're going to go down to line 6, which is going to be the purchase price. We're going to purchase this property for $200,000 and no cents. So once you have that understood and filled out, we'll go to line 7, which is going to be the buyer does or does not intend to occupy the property as a residence. So some people are investors, some people want to buy this home to make it there. So whichever one applies for you, of course, you'll click. Might be something that you need required by your financial institution. They want to know. Okay, so buyer's offer. Section 1, financial terms and conditions. So here, subsection A is going to be earnest money deposit, EMD. What is it? I like to call it a I'm serious deposit. What it's going to be is an amount, usually about 3 to 5% of the purchase price, which will be put into escrow that goes towards your closing costs. That's just going to be the I'm serious, and it also is something that the seller can liquidate as damages in the end. So it's very important to know what and how much your EMD is and the process with it. So here it says that you have two options. It can be presented with the offer or whatever the acceptable terms are. So here I like to put, once it's accepted, it will be wired. And where is it going to be wired, how long, and what's going to happen. So once this is accepted, we usually have one, or of course, if you need more time, you can say, hey, I need 5 days to wire this money. I'm out of town, or whatever the situation will be, so you don't go into default. You want to just make sure that it's not too long to where it's kind of it pushes the seller away to another offer where he can get this transaction done faster. So that's all strategic as well as circumstantial. So once you figure out where or when you're going to wire that EMD, we'll make that happen. We'll get this escrow open and get the transaction going. B, if you had any additional deposits, you would put there on the date, what day that would be deposited, and if it would be a part of escrow or if it would not be a part of escrow. Very important, again, for liabilities and liquidated damages. If you put $10,000 there and you default, guess what? Not only is your $5,000 at risk, but so is your $10,000. So just to be clear on that. Here it says that this agreement is contingent upon buyer qualifying for a new loan. $160,000. You have a few options here, and we're saying we're going the conventional route. If you have FHA, VA, or another financial institution that you're going to get that aid from, you can specify it there. This agreement is contingent upon buyer qualifying to assume the following existing loan. So assuming a loan, if someone has a loan and you can take it over, that's a wonderful situation. If the numbers work and you qualify, you will put those numbers there. That's not a part of our transaction, so we put 0. Buyer to execute a promissory note secured by deed of trust per terms in the financing addendum, which is attached here too. So we don't have that in this situation. If we did, make another video about situations where that does apply, so we can make sure we have every avenue understood, which leaves the remaining balance, which would be the $160 that we're asking for minus $40,000, which will be our down payment towards the end of close of escrow, which be a total of $200,000 for the purchase price. And there we go. That is the initial page of the offer, and it's pretty simple. It's just the financial, all the numbers. You usually get this out the way first so they can see how's the money being paid, where is it coming from, and once you have all that set, we can go on to the next page, which is the additional terms and conditions and contingencies.